Good morning. Today is story day. You will find as we go along together that I absolutely love the power of true stories about amazing people. You're going to hear lots of them because I've written more than 800 of them. I have a story for you today about a man who simply refused to accept the truth, or at least what everyone else believed to be the truth. What did they know that he didn't? Well, everyone knew it couldn't be done. And Roger Bannister had no real motivation to prove them wrong, at least in the beginning. The young Englishman loved to run, but from the time he was a child, he also had a passion to be a doctor. This was the passion that really drove him. His parents were unable to afford a university education, so it was up to him to make it happen. He knew early on that in order to achieve his dream of being a doctor, he would have to be exceptional. So he set about being exceptional. His studies were the most important thing to him, but that didn't mean he couldn't improve his track skills by running back and forth from school. While he was on his way to earning a scholarship from Oxford University, he was also gaining a name for himself as a runner. But everyone still knew one thing was simply true. It is physically impossible for a human being to run a mile in under 4 minutes. This statement was the accepted wisdom of the time during the late 1940s and early 1950s. Runners tried but failed, proving the words of athletes and medical doctors, cementing a belief in runners' minds that running a mile in under 4 minutes simply couldn't be done. Well, Roger didn't set out to prove them wrong. He simply loved to run, and he was fast. He was also learning a lot about the human body in his medical studies at Oxford. The more he learned, the more he began to doubt the truth. The day arrived when he was firmly convinced it was possible for a human being to run the mile in under 4 minutes. His decision to be that person was formed by a humiliating defeat in the 1952 Olympics. In order to redeem himself, he decided to break the world's record for the mile. No one believed he could do it. Adding to his challenge was the fact he was now a full-time medical student, and he could devote only 45 minutes a day to training. Well, people scoffed at the idea he could accomplish such a wild goal, but Roger believed that slow and steady training would allow him to break the record. He painstakingly researched mechanical aspects of running and developed scientific training methods to help him achieve his goal. His opportunity came 2 years later on a blustery day with 25-mile-an-hour gust of wind to hamper his efforts. Well, to say the least, it didn't look promising. So what? He had trained. He was ready. He believed it could be done. So he simply went out and did it. Roger ran the race of his life, breaking the tape and collapsing as the announcer delivered his time to a wildly cheering crowd. 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. Here's what I find just as interesting. Within 2 months, his record had been broken by John Landy, proving the 4-minute mile was as much a psychological barrier as it was a physical barrier. As the years have passed, the mile has been run in shorter and shorter times, but it was Roger Bannister who proved the body was capable of far more than people believed. When he was asked to explain that first 4-minute mile and the art of record breaking, his answer was simple. It's the ability to take more out of yourself than you've got. Did you get that? It's the ability to take more out of yourself than you've got. How did Roger do it? First, he believed he could do it. He understood the size of his success would be determined by the size of his belief. Here is where I'm going to depart for some more common thoughts that are spread around a lot today. While belief is critically important, in fact, he couldn't have accomplished what he did without it. Belief alone is not enough. It is not enough to repeat affirmations over and over to yourself, even though they are important. At some point, you have to do the work. Roger Bannister ran day after day. He researched the human body. He created scientific methods to enable him to stretch his limits. He did what it would take to fulfill his dream. And he hoped. Hope was the key to it all. Hope kept him pushing. Hope kept him running through the pain. Hope kept him looking for new methods to improve his running. Hope made him believe his goal was attainable. He chose hope. What are your goals with Green Organics? What is it that you dream of accomplishing? Believe it can be done. Then do the work. Apply yourself to success. Apply yourself to excellence. Figure out what it is going to take and then go do it. And let hope carry you beyond every barrier and obstacle. You may have no interest in breaking a world record, but I know you have an interest in building a great green organics business, or you wouldn't be listening to me right now. Give yourself the ability to take more out of yourself than you've got. I believe you can do it. Have an ultimate day.